Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'll start. Yeah, as I told you, I had some sad news this morning. I had some sad news this morning that my classmate lost her husband to COVID-19 complications. So let us pray for him. Yeah. Morning, Yashaswini. So, see, I was teaching you project integration management. Out of the 10 sub areas, good morning, all of you. Yeah. Out of those 10 sub areas or 10 knowledge areas of project management, the project integration management is the first one. And I was telling you that you begin with the project integration management, it goes on all through because it integrates, you see, all the resources, all the people, the funding, the cost, the time, the quality, everything has to be integrated through project integration management. So that is why what happens is it starts in the beginning. It is a function that goes on all through the project and ends with the closure of the project. In fact, the project closure is also the responsibility of project integration management. Okay, who manages integration? Project manager, team members, the project sponsor, etc. And then I told you we have 6 integration processes. The integration processes, the first one is to develop the project charter. I explained to you what is a project charter. In a subsequent class, I'll give you more details because if you get a question or 10 marks question on what is a project charter, I'll prepare you for that. Okay, currently you know what is a project charter. So the first one is the project charter, then the project management plan, the second one. The third is to direct and manage project actual execution of the project. And fourth is to monitor and control project work. The fifth one is to perform integrated control of change, any change if necessary, which is always there. And then close the project or phase. So, as I was telling you, in each of these 6 phases, there is an input, there is an output. In the middle, you have tools and techniques by means of which input become an output. Now, input could be a suggestion and output could be the approved suggestion. Do you understand? Input could be a change in plans. Output could be approval of the change in plans. All right. So the first one we did was the project charter. So in the project charter, the inputs were the statement of work, the environmental factors, the contract, the process assets, etc. So in the tools and techniques, you say, do the selection methods, etc. The methodology. Then you have the MIS of the project management and expert judgment of whoever is concerned. So all this, the inputs I have told you goes through all this. These are the tools and techniques, and the output is the project charter. So the project charter will have, let me repeat, project charter will have the actual statement of work, the contract itself, the assets that are devoted, organizational assets that are devoted to the project, and the enterprise environmental factors. So when you put all this and together, these are the inputs with the tools and techniques, with the plan, the MIS, the expert management, is the transformation process. Enclosed in the transformation process, please watch your slide that I have said. So the output is the project charter. Now the second thing is the second process that the second function or the second process is the project management plan. Now the management plan first of all has the scope statement. I explained to you what's the scope statement, the project management processes, environmental factors and process assets again, and the techniques are again the same that I have told you before. That is the project management methodology, the information systems and expert judgment. So finally what you get from the output of this is the project management plan. Okay, please follow your slide. Now the third one is the actual direction and management and execution of the project. Okay, or you could say the direction and management of the implementation, project implementation. So here the inputs are project management plan and then any corrective actions that are approved. So they have to go through, these are the inputs, they have to go through the tools and techniques, which are the management plan and the information system, and also expert opinion. Expert opinion is always there. whether it is there in your box of the tools and techniques or not. Expert judgment or expert opinion you can put in every tools and techniques. It is always there. You cannot discount it, you cannot do away with it. So here you have the project management plan and any corrective actions that are approved, but they have to be approved by the project team. And then preventive actions, any change requests for change, whether they can be approved or not. And any defect repair, administrative closure procedure, like, oh, this, see, you finished foundation. So any activity that is concerned only, say we are doing a building and you have finished laying the foundation of the building. So any activity relating to just only the foundation is not necessary anymore. So you can close that that chapter or that particular department which is concerned only with say deciding the depth of the land or the softness of the soil or in something. Those departments or those functions cease to exist. They're not necessary once the foundation is laid. So those things you have to close. All right. So all this are the inputs, and whether they can be done is determined by the project methodology and the expert judgment and the MIS system. So outputs will be deliverables like any deliverables, like what is required. Deliverable means when you do the project, what are you going to deliver? What is the output of the entire project? So there can be small deliverables. See, you finish this, only then you go to the next one. Unless you finish the process one and get the output of process one, you cannot get the input of process two. The output of process 1 could be the input of process 2. So these are the deliverables in small stages like. Alright. So here you have deliverables. Then see, whatever I told you inputs, they get discussed, approved, and methodology of how to do it. Okay, you have a request for a change. You have requested and you have given a suggestion also. Is it the best way? Can there be another way? Etc. etc. is to be decided by the project team and the methodology itself. Okay. So here we have the output is the approved one, and how to do it is the outputs of this process. Then come the monitor and control of the project work. See here, any control process means you take the actuals and you compare the standards and you see whether there is a positive deviation or a negative deviation between the actuals and the standards. If the standards are higher than the actuals, there's a negative deviation. You have to find out why and you have to take remedial action. Suppose the actuals are higher than the standards, then what happens? You have done something very good. How have you done? Is it what are the reasons that you have done? See, remedial action is necessary. For example, if there's negative deviation, probably the person doesn't know how to do. It could be lack of training. And on the contrary, if he has done better than what is expected of him, it could be because he has got excellent training. So you have to find out why, then give the kind of training that fellow has got to do such good work to the persons who have not done good work. Alright, so this is monitor and control project work, and the next process is integrated change control. I have explained to you before. Again, you have the inputs are the project management plan, any requested changes, work performance information, how much have we done so far, what is the stage of completion, how much have we reached, etc. And alright, how much have we reached, etc. And then corrective actions, any defect repair, and any deliverables. Deliverables means, as I told you, there might be 6 processes in the actual 6 stages in the actual implementation of the project. So in the first stage, the inputs go in as raw material. The outputs of stage 1 could be the input of stage 2. Similarly, the output of the previous stage could be the input of the next stage, and all this, it goes on, you see. So these are the small deliverables, stage-wise deliverables that we are looking at. And then finally, the techniques are the same, expert judgment, MIS, and the project plan, methodology, sorry, not plan, the project methodology is what it goes through. the inputs goes through all this, the methodology, the expert judgment, etc., and you have the outputs. Here the outputs are the change required, whether they are rejected, whether they are accepted, whether there is a change of plan, whether there is an alternative course of action for what is suggested, any defect repair, whether it is approved, not approved, validated, all this. All right. So these are the and there are deliverables. Then the last stage is the close project phase. Here the inputs are project management plan, the contract document plan. See, documentation is very important. You have to do proper closure. And then enterprise environmental factors, organization process assets, work performance information, and the deliverables, which I explained just now. So here we are. And again, the tools and techniques are project management methodology, the expert judgment, and the project management information system itself. So it goes through all this, and outputs are the administrative closure procedure. You have a contract, has been said, you have fulfilled the contract. The person who's accepting the delivery of the project or the products or whatever, he or she has to sign and say it is done. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. And then you have, sorry. Yes. Then you have next contract closure procedure, whatever the contract, whether you have fulfilled. See, contract is something like, I do this for you, I do that for you, etc., etc. Okay. And then what else you have? Final product, service or results, then organization, process, assets, update. Okay. Now these are the 6 functions of project integration management. So we have gone from when you start the project charter, you're beginning officially starting the project. Okay. And when you have the close project phase, you're officially closing the project. So as you can understand, the project integration management integrates all parts of the project from beginning. It goes on through the project. It controls it starts the project. It helps in the implementation. And once it helps in the implementation, it goes on and checks all the actual deliverables, and it controls, it monitors, etc. And there you have, finally you have the closure, official documentation, etc., etc. Now, next slide, you please go into my next slide. It says what is a project plan. Okay, what does project plan do? First, it has the project charter. We have already discussed what's the project charter, and I also told you I'll give a class purely on what is the contents of a project charter with an actual example of of a project charter. Okay, then we have something called the project management approach. See, it could be a waterfall approach, up to down. All right. It could be like a systems analysis and development approach. These approaches I'll talk to you in another class. It's too big a topic to understand. So how are you going to do? Which stage, which phase, etc. Start from one place. See, it could be possible. You have done, see, I have taught you network modeling. In network modeling, we had, activities and sequence of activities. It is possible that you have to do activity B only after activity A is done. It is also possible that in some cases you can do activity A, you can do activity B, activity C simultaneously, and then you can do activity D. All right. It just is possible that see, I give you 2 scenarios. It is the predecessor of B is A, predecessor of C is B, predecessor of D is C. Meaning A must be done before B can be done, B must be done before C can be done, C must be done before D can be done, if A, B, C, D are activities. All right. Now, suppose it is possible to do concurrently, or subsequent. It is not. See, D can be done only if A, B, C, D can be done. Imagine. So it doesn't mandate, if in a project it doesn't mandate that B has to be done after A is done, C has to be done after B is done. If it is not like that, A, B and C can be done together. You do A, B, C, and all these 3 come to D. You picture in your mind the network modeling I taught you. Do you understand? So, in this when you take this scenario, you'll understand the project management approach. Suppose you're making a toy elephant. Okay, our project is to make a toy elephant. Suppose we are going to do. See, there's a howdah or something. Howdah like this on the elephant, and there's a carpet on the elephant's back. So you can give a artisan. You make the howdah. You can give. We'll call it A. Activity A, making the howdah or the little mantap on top of the elephant, where the Maharaja of Mysore sits, that howdah on the elephant. Imagine artisan A is given that, and that is activity A. And activity B could be the carpet, the beautiful gold embroidered carpet that you find on the elephant's back is activity B, and it is given to another artisan. Then let us say on the face of the elephant you have one beautiful, I don't know what it is called, one some kind of jeweled pattern here on the till the trunk. So that could be activity C, and it could be given to another artisan. Then the another D could be actually fitting the elephant. Maybe the parts are available. You fit the legs, you fit the trunk, you fit the head to the body and the tail. Okay, imagine now we have A, B, C, D all done simultaneously. Now to fit the elephant after this is E. E could be taking the elephant body, and you cannot put the howdah unless you put the back of the elephant. So mandatorily you have to fix the carpet. So fixing the carpet on the back of the elephant has to be activity E. After that you can fix the howdah on the elephant. It could be howdah, or it could be the jewelry here of the elephant. Both can be done simultaneously. It doesn't require that howdah has to be fixed for the jewelry of the head to be fixed. So you understand what are followers, following events, what are the predecessor events, etc. So then every project, depending on the predecessor, the follower event, etc., will require this thing. We will require some kind of 1 minute. Will require some kind of process or phases. Okay. So there it is. The next in the project plan is the scope statement. What is a scope statement? I told you. Think of it as a photo frame. So the scope is everything inside the photo frame, leaving nothing. Everything you have to done, but nothing beyond it. So the scope is very necessary, because you may do something which is not necessary and forget to do what is really necessary, what you're supposed to do. You may not do what you're supposed to do and do what you're not supposed to do, and waste your time, energy, resources, etc. by doing that. You understand? So the project scope statement, think of it always as a photo frame, doing everything inside the photo frame mandatorily. Alright? So here we are. Then the work breakdown structure. I explained to you that day, but I felt I need to explain to you all this again, because it's a little heavy for an MBA student. What is a WBS? One WBS is equal to 40 hours. Alright? One WBS is equal to 40 hours. Now take the example of our elephant. We are making a toy elephant. The toy elephant is, it's a wooden piece, and then on top on the back of the elephant you have a carpet. On the carpet, top of the carpet you have a howdah, that little mantap, etc. And you have jewelry on the elephant, and maybe the legs have some jewels, So everything is made and you're going to put together. Now you have to understand, artisan A was given how to make the howdah. Imagine he requires 10 hours, alright, to make the howdah. Imagine the carpet, the weaving requires 10 hours. Imagine the jewelry and the anklets together, let us say, anklets of the 4 legs, and maybe something for the tail. All that requires 10 hours. So we can say 1/4 of a WBS for the howdah, 1/4 of a WBS for the carpet, 1/4 of a WBS for the all the other jewelry. Alright, 10 hours each. And then the elephant, to put together, maybe the parts are, you're getting the parts. So legs you're getting, front legs, back legs, the trunk has to be fit to the head to the body. So the trunk, the trunk, the head, the body, and the tail and the four legs are got. So you have to fit it together and you have to maybe polish it. So maybe to fit the elephant, polish it, dry it, smoothen it, you require another 10 hours. So I've given you 10 hours for the howdah, 10 hours for the carpet, 10 hours for the jewelry making, and 10 hours for putting the elephant together and polishing it and making ready to fit the jewelry. So you have for this so far 1 WBS. 40. Generally 1 WBS is equal to 40 working hours. So according to us 1 WBS is over. Now we come to the fitting. Say the fitting and making it whatever etc. requires another 1/4 working hour WBS. So 50 hours are necessary to make one elephant. Just imagine. So much is not necessary. It's a example. Okay, imagine. So you need 1/4 WBS for one elephant. So if you have to make 100 elephants, you have an order and it's a project. Okay, because every time you don't get to make elephants, you may get to make different animals or different toys. Now you have an order for 100 elephant. It becomes a project for you. Imagine. So 100 elephants means 1/4 WBS into 100. How many WBS? Okay, so 100 plus 1/4 into 100, 25. 125 working hours. Alright, so then in a one working day, how many hours are you working? Are you working for 8 hours? Are you working for 5 hours? Let us imagine you're working for 5 hours. So 125 by 5, you need 25 working days. If you're working 5 hours for per day, if you're working 5 hours, and we already decided that one elephant, you need 1/4 WBS. 1/4 WBS is 50 working hours. Okay, 50 working hours. Let us say you require for 100 elephants, you require 125 WBS. So 125 into 40 you have to do. Sorry, I forgot that. Alright, do 125 WBS into 40. How many working hours you decide? Okay, we'll do it now. You decide. 1/4 WBS for one elephant. 1/4 into 100 is how much? 100 plus 1/4 into 100. Yeah, 125 WBS. 125 into 40. Let's see you work out and give me the answer. Just want to know whether you are with me. Yeah? Sorry, class. Let us see. Do it for me. I just want to know whether you are with me. Alright? Tell me whether my calculation is correct. 1/4 WBS or 40 plus 1/4 is 10. 50 working hours for one elephant. Okay? So I need to make 100 elephants. Tell me how many WBS, how many working hours. Come on, quickly. Then I know that you are not following if I don't get the answer. Where is everybody, man? Not listening, huh? Yashaswini, Shilpi, Pavan, Chaitra, Ganesh, Mithun, Naresh, Lakshmi, Tejas, Yahya, Bhavna, Shweta, Nana, Sabin, Kishan, Sujan, Nagma, Bharti, Lily, Rima, Shruti, Dev, Manjunath, Roshan, Arun Kumar, Momocha, Ravi, give me the answer. Biki, Yashaswini, Abash, Shilpi, Rupa, give me the answer. Then I know you all are listening, otherwise How sweet, Prakriti. 5,000 hours. Very good, Manjunath. Okay. 4,000 hours, huh? Or 5,000 hours? One elephant, 50 hours. Or 1/4 WBS. Okay. So 50 into 100, 5,000. Divide that by 40 and tell me how many WBS. Is it 125 WBS? Come on, tell me. Let us write it as 125 WBS or 5,000 working hours. Yes, Avash, thank you. Thank you. So we write it as 125 WBS or, good morning, my one. 125 WBS or 5,000 working hours. Very good, Rupa, correct. 5,000 working hours. So, in one working day, if you are working for 8 hours, divide 5,000 by 8 hours. Or to make things simpler, let us not to make it 8 hours. We'll make 1 hour. You're working for 10 hours. You're overworking them. But let's say you're working for making them workers work for 10 hours. So 5,000 divided by 10, you require 500 working days to make 100 elephants. Okay, 500 working days means you divide 50 to 365. In that 365, 52 Sundays go. You are not working on Sunday. So you don't have to work out now. I just want you to understand how we make the time calculation for our project. I think with this example you have understood. So we make the time calculation for our project. We know how much effort one elephant costs and how many. Now I said one worker at a time does, one artisan does the howdah, one artisan does the carpet, one artisan does the jewelry, one artisan does the elephant. Now we have, say, total of 5 artisans. Okay. Now what about if we make it 25 artisans? You are forecasting the labor required. Okay. According to us, we need 5,000 hours. Okay, for 5 artisans. Suppose I make it 25 artisans, then I divide 5,000 by 25. How much will it be? 2,000 working hours. Let's say I'm employing 50 artisans. Okay, so for 5 artisans, 5,000 hours. For 50 artisans, it will be 500 hours. So we will employ 50 artisans and bring 5,000 hours at the rate of 10 hours per day became 500 days. So when we make it 500 working hours with 50 artisans, it will become 500 divided by 10, 50 working days. With 50 artisans, 50 working days, you can produce 100 elephants. You understand? This is the way we do integration. This is the way we calculate the time, the cost. Now, how do we calculate the cost? If an artisan is works for 20 rupees per day, you have 50 artisans. 50 into 20, 1,000 will be your labor cost per day. So, what is the labor cost? 50 into 20, 1,000. For 50 working hours, it will be 1,000 into 50, 50,000. Alright. So, according to this, you calculate everything and you can give the project cost. You take your profit, you take everybody's salary, etc. There's a percentage of the profit, etc., etc. And finally, you will get, how much is the cost, etc. What about the quality? Quality is already what the specs they give, the specifications they give. You will incorporate and you will see that you conform to quality. Alright, this is the way it goes. Now, network diagram with next is responsibility chart. This is the organization part of it. See, when you talk about functions and principles and practices of management, not functions, sorry. Principles and practices of management, talking about planning, organization, developing, controlling, etc. Isn't it? In planning is how to do, when to do, etc. Who is to do it is the organization part. So, who is to do it is the responsibility chart. Who will do what? Who is to report to whom? All this will be in the responsibility chart. Okay, next you have the network diagram with major milestones. As I told you in this example of our elephant, you have the howdah making as A, Imagine on the top, I'll write, imagine one, on the top, I will make one circle, activity circle A, that is the howdah making. B, the carpet making. C, the jewels making. 4, putting together the elephant and making it ready for the final assembly. And then we have A, B, C, D. Then you have all the arrows you bring like that to one activity called E, where you put everything on the elephant. Okay, so this is maybe, and then when how many you have to finish. See, I already sent you a Gantt chart. You will get it at the end of this, but that is later on. Unless you understand the basics. See, why I'm taking so much interest and time on integration management is half my work will be done about all the project management if you understand integration well. Is that clear? So here you have the charter. I repeat, the project management approach I explained to you, the scope statement, the WBS, the responsibility chart, and the network diagram with major milestones. Then you have the budget. See, when you have the work breakdown structures, when you have the time, you have the labor cost. Then you have the other things like raw material. You will find out from the industry how much is the raw material costing, etc. So you have the budget. Then you have the schedule. When you make the WBS, etc., you have the schedule, isn't it? Then change control system, that you have to design yourself. Like if there is a change, how are we going to do? How are we going to approve the change, etc., etc. And then the change, then the performance measurement guidelines. How many elephants per day? In one WBS, you must make one elephant, isn't it? And in one-fourth WBS, one howdah has to be made. One-fourth WBS, the carpet has to be made with all the jewelry. And the one we have decided, that will be according to expert opinion what a normal person can do. All right. So there are laggards, there are experts also. So all combined together, one normal person can do all these activities A, B, C, D in one-fourth WBS. Okay. Good morning. Yes, Rashid. Yeah. Nasir? Yes, Nasir. You got it. Okay. So this is the way. Yeah. Okay. So we have performance measurement guidelines. I told you, you have a schedule. According to that, you have. And then management plans. Scope, schedule, look at your PowerPoint. Cost, quality, staffing, communication, response to risk, and procurement. Okay. Now, who is responsibility for change? Next slide. Go into the next slide. Who is responsible change? Influence factors that affects change. See, this is not very necessary. I have already explained in different contexts. So the summary of go into the slide which says integration management summary. You know what is the final outcome of all this class. Know the integration management processes and where they belong. When during the start, during the continuation, implementation, continuation, towards the end, the closure, etc. Then project plan documents the basis for all project decisions. Understand the authority and limits of the authority of the project manager. What is his authority? What are his limitations? And any change should be guided by the processes in the project plan. I have explained how to deal with the changes. What is responsibility? Responsibility is some duty is given to you, you have to fulfill it. Simple. All right. Your what to say, conscience for doing your duty is responsibility. All right. Then comes accountability. Accountability is you being answerable to your superiors. The people who are absent to my class today being answerable to me is accountability. Yeah. I'm seeing the attendance dipping. I don't know why, and I'm pretty not happy about it. Not at all happy about it. But it makes no sense to scold those of you who are already attending class, isn't it? I hope that they are going to look at the class later. I get a lot of views, but I don't know whether they are my students or just my friends, classmates. Okay. Then you have authority. the legitimate power given to a person in an organization to use resources to reach an objective and to exercise discipline. Alright, there's always someone who is the head of the department who has the ultimate power over everybody. For a given period of time, as long as he is the project manager, you have to listen to him because he is considered the expert and he is given the responsibility to be the leader. Okay, definitions. Then I told you one important document that you have to make is lessons learned document. At what stage, what can go wrong, etc. etc. Okay. So then your next slide is the key to overall project success is good management of the integration. Okay, because integration coordinates everything. All right. So we have here, I told you 6 processes, isn't it? 6 processes in project integration management. And the first process is taking the results, that is the project plan development. Then you have the execution and the integrated change control. Class, go to that slide where you have project integration management overview, figure 4.1. See, if you see here the project plan development, project plan execution and integrated change control. I have already explained to you with inputs, then you have the tools and techniques to do the inputs into the outputs. So this is, don't be confused about this, you have exactly what I showed you the pictures. You have the inputs, you have the tools and techniques and you have the outputs. For example, you have, see here, the same thing. You have the expert management. If you are confused about this, you use the 3 things I told you. In the tools and techniques that you find in the center of the slide or the center of the diagram, you get inputs on the left side, you get outputs on the right side. And in the middle, you will get the tools and techniques. For all the 6 processes, you can put the same. You can put the project management methodology. Second, you can put the project management information system. And third, you can put expert opinion. You can put the same thing for all the 6 processes. It doesn't matter. And don't be confused with this. Now look at the figure 4.2. It is a very beautiful diagram. On the left hand side, on the y-axis, you have scope, time, cost, that is 3, quality. So you have the tripod, time, cost and quality, and you have the scope. Then you have the human resources, you have communications, you have risk, and you have procurement. All right. Then you have the integration, going at arrow, and you will be able to see during the concept development of the project, during the actual development of the project, implementation and closeout, which are closure or closeout, both mean the same thing. These are on the x-axis. You have the project life cycle phases. So you can see that how at each stage the project integration management pulls from x and y axis. All right. Now, before I stop class today, thing is, my classes should be effective. They won't be effective if they are long, especially for this Shirish. Good morning, Shirisha. They won't be effective if they are too long because of this subject that I am teaching. So I will talk to you a little bit about a project plan now. What is a project plan? It's a document. It coordinates all project planning documents. All right, brings together all the documents concerned with projects, and that's a project plan. Its main purpose is to guide the execution or implementation of the project. A project plan is something to guide, is a guide. It tells you how to do the project. Simple. Now, project plans assist project manager in leading the project team and assessing the status of the project. So everything is there in the project. It is a blueprint of the actual project. So where are we? Where are we headed? How much have we completed? How much have we not completed at this stage? In 2 weeks, how much we should have completed? Have we completed this much? Everything is there. So project manager knows who is wrong, who is right, who is doing extremely well, who is not, up to the mark. Everything is there in the project plan. And okay, what are the attributes of a project plan? It should be dynamic. It should be something that is not static. It should be dynamic. It should be moving, flexible, because you need to have change, and then updated as changes occur. As changes occur, it should be noted in the project plan. See, I told you in some part of the integration management, you have inputs. The inputs are approve the change in plans, or approve some kind of design, or approve this change in work procedures, etc., etc. So this approval goes to the tools and techniques and comes out as an output. This output in the change of plans, should be incorporated in the project plan. So I think I will stop here. Tomorrow I will do more about the project plan. All right. Or there is nothing much of the project plan. I think I will do one more thing. Common elements of the project planner, introduction and overview of the project, determines or tells you how the project is organized, what are the management and technical processes and work to be done, schedule and budget information. I repeat the last one. What is the work to be done, what is the schedule, and what is the budget for the work done. With this, I will stop about talking to you about the project. Now, in my next class, that is tomorrow, I need to go to the department. I don't know. Let me see whether I can take class early. I will let you know. All right. And that is this thing, guest faculty interviews in the department tomorrow. So I'm not sure whether I need to go pretty early. I need a 1 hour travel time, isn't it? So if I can take class, half an hour class, I may come on tomorrow at around 8:30. Okay, I will come on tomorrow. I think at 8:30 or 8:15ish. I'll WhatsApp you the time, and I'll take only half an hour class. But I want to take class tomorrow because I missed yesterday. All right. So tomorrow, I think I'll come on at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock to 8:30, I will take class for you, and then I need to go to the department. I have work there tomorrow. All right. With this, I'll say bye, class. Tomorrow, I will do this slide, introduction or overview of the project. All right. And let us see how much we can do. I hope to do up till stakeholder analysis or more, depending. Okay. All the best, class. Please pray for the deceased soul. Okay. I hope you understood. Just give me a thumbs up if you liked my class or if you understood. Bye, class. Take care. I think we are meeting each other from 23rd, isn't it? That's Monday. Yeah, we'll let you know. Tomorrow I'll discuss with Nagraj sir and the timetable, etc. I will let you know. All right. For now, it is bye. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I got thumbs up, Shilpi. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah. Yashaswini, Abash, Lily. Yes, Lily. How's your hero? Yes, Ravi. Thank you. Thank you too. Yeah, where is Hadia today? How is Hadia's? Yes, Yashaswini. Thank you, sweetheart. How is Hadia's hero and how is Lily's hero? Yeah, yeah. We have two boys. Let's see when little cute little girls will come. Shweta, thank you, Shweta. Yes, yes. I'm not so much in a mood today. I'm feeling very sad for my classmate. She lost her husband this morning. Yeah. I really wanted to cancel class, but that's not the issue. I yesterday also I could not because I was really occupied. I had to go to a hospital and for somebody's health, so it is tiring. So bye everyone. See you. I hope to see you soon. Whatever offline or no, my online classes will continue. Don't have to worry. But to take this decision, I have to talk to Nagraj sir tomorrow. All right. If nothing, offline classes I will broadcast. Okay. Whatever classes I take offline also I will broadcast through Facebook only. Bye everyone. Have a great day. God bless you. Keep smiling. Keep